All right, I am live on the gram, live on YouTube, and of course, blogtalkradio.com. I am there. Um, we have an upcoming seminar in New York, May 6th, and it is the Discharge Injunction Seminar hosted by me, Jonah Bay. For your ticket information, go to jonahbay.com to see the flyer, get the information on where it's going to be and how to pay. All of it's on the flyer. Tickets are $450. And yes, it's Saturday, May 6th. So it's coming up. It's right around the corner, y'all. All right. With that being said, welcome to the Jonah Bay Show, where I go in on law and shit. I got an interesting code I want to talk to y'all about tonight. It's 15 USC 1602. And it roughly has to do with discharge, but you'll see how it ties in. But let me put it in the chat so y'all can check it out. Just give me a second. I tell you, wifey done made me something to eat, smell good. I can't eat. I'm here working with y'all, man. You know what I mean? And I'm hangry. That means I'm hungry, angry. I'm hangry. So, boom. There it is in the chat. Let's go over it. This US code real quick. 15 USC 1602. Definitions and rules of construction. And I like this because it really breaks down the definition of things. And it says, definition and rules construction set forth in this section are applicable for purposes of this subchapter. B, brew. The term brew means the Bureau of Consumer Financial Protection. C, the term board refers to the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. See what I'm talking about? Why? It's an interesting law. D, the term organization means a corporation, government, or governmental subdivision or agency, trust, estate, partnership, cooperative, or association. E, the term person means a natural person or an organization. So they're basically saying a person is, you could be a natural person or in legis. But you gotta understand when they're using the term natural person, they're really talking about, an express trust. Not talking about a human being. They're actually talking about an entity called the express trust. It's considered a natural person. F, the term credit. Now pay attention to this one. The term credit means the right granted by a creditor to a debtor to defer payment of debt, to incur debt or defer its payment. So when y'all extend the social with the in legis name, y'all are extending credit. Y'all extend credit to a debtor, right? But G breaks it down even more. G, the term creditor refers only to a person who both, number one, regularly extends, whether in connection with loans, sales of property or services, or otherwise, consumer credit. You are considered a consumer, and you are the one that is extending your credit in connection with loans. Yeah, this actual law tells you you're extending the credit. Anyway, let me read on. Which is payable by agreement in more than 4 installments, or which the payment of a finance charge is or may be required. And two is the person to whom the debt arising from the consumer credit transaction is initially payable on the face of the evidence of indebtedness, or if there is no such evidence of indebtedness by agreement, notwithstanding the preceding sentence, in this case of an open end credit plan involving a credit card or credit issuer or any other person who honors the credit card who offers a discount, which is a finance charge, are creditors. See? So they wrote this in such a way, of course, it's legalese, but they're saying that the credit card company is a creditor. They're also saying that you, the consumer, is a creditor. They got y'all both into this law. Now, one's taking advantage of being the creditor, like the credit card company, the bank, but you're not taking advantage of it when you're extending the credit to these places by giving them the legalist name and social, right? It's a sticky web. It's a sticky web. You got to really understand who you are and what you're doing. And this is what we're going to be doing with that whole discharge seminar. Show you how to utilize you yourself as being the creditor. See, because your straw man extended credit to the United States government. The United States government, in turn, made an agreement with you that said they will pay all your bills. Y'all know the law as HR 192. And they didn't say it in such a way that it simply say we're gonna pay all your bills. What they said is that they are what's the word I'm looking for? It's just like the word liable, but I can't remember the word right now. Obligated, obligated. They obligated. All debts are obligations of the United States. That's what they wrote under the banking emergency, which y'all know as HR 192. They don't call it a bankruptcy, they call it a banking emergency, right? And all obligations are the United States under the banking emergency because they took away your option to pay when they took your gold and silver. You didn't have nothing to pay, and they had to actually pay you back, or else they were enslaving you or stealing from you. So they made a promise to be obligated for your bill. I'm gonna break this all down to you in this seminar and show you how to utilize it. But with that being said, let me go on. Let me go on and finish reading this law, G. And it says, for the purpose of the requirements imposed under Part D of this subchapter and Section 1637A 5, 1637A6, 1637A7, 1637B1, 1637B2, B3, and B8 and B10 of this title, the term creditor shall also include card issuers, whether or not the amount is due is payable. See, so right there, if these are the codes that's telling you, it means the card issuer, which is the actual credit card company, they issued the card, right? then who were they talking about before then? They were talking about your straw man, extending credit to the card issuer. Tell you no lies. Y'all got to read this and comprehend it and read it nice and slow. And, and click on the blue words and get the overstanding, right? Then it says card issuers, whether or not the amount due is payable by agreement in more than 4 installments or the payment of a finance charge is or may be required, and the Bureau shall, by regulation, apply these requirements to such card issuers to the extent appropriate, even though the requirements are by their terms applicable only to creditors. Now, once again, if you overstood what they just said, wait a minute, the card issuer is not the creditor? That's what it just said. Even though the requirements are by their terms applicable only to the creditors. Offering open-end credit plans. See, that's what y'all been doing. As the straw man with the social, y'all have been giving them open-end credit plans. But let me go on. Any person who originates 2 or more mortgages referred to in subsection AA in any 12-month period, or any person who originates 1 or more such mortgages through a mortgage broker shall be considered to be a creditor for the purpose of this subchapter. The term creditor includes a private educational lender, as the term is defined in section 1650 of this table for the purpose of this subchapter. See? So they're doing a lot of double talk on you loaning money to these financial institutions, right? So that's actually what's going on. And y'all got to comprehend that. But as I said, you're really not supposed to be responsible for none of that, because America got an obligation to the illegas with the social. But we at the half an hour point. Let me open up the call lines and get some calls, and let's discuss this and see what's going on with this info. So my first caller is 636-249. Peace to the God. Peace.
Peace to God.
What up, God?
God.
I'm doing wonderful, magnificent, and great. How you doing?
Okay. Wonderful, magnificent, great.
Ashe.
Myself. Yeah, I say, that's what you were just saying. I do have a couple questions.
Sure.
What you were just saying. And I'm definitely big on consumer laws. I mean, those consumer laws definitely where it's at. And I'm going to say, point A, when it comes down to what you just said, yeah, 100%, that Social Security card is just that. It's a card, it's a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
And every time we use that joint, they absolutely make money. You prove that.
Yeah, you giving them, you extending them credit. Now, Tony King told us, when you give them your name and the credit and the social, right? He said they get $1 million for your name out of that account in credit, and they get $1 million for the social. So that's a minimum of $2 million that you extended to them.
Every single rip.
Every rip.
So I want to ask you a question. So when you ask me, if a company that you can contract it with, your business with, like people who that you it's a lease, there's a lease or whatever, and in that lease, a company put a code, inside of their lease or what have you, that's actually illegal. It doesn't. The law says it just the opposite. Doesn't that become a breach of contract at that
Listen,
point?
when you're dealing with that's a sticky situation. I see exactly how your thinking is going, but the problem with
They try to use
like
arbitration law, but
yeah, the problem with when you're leasing something, you're not the owner, right? And the rule is it has to become a public debt of your straw man for it to be able to be discharged, right?
right.
But that's like a catch 22 because you did extend credit to them. But at the same time, let's say for instance, you in one of my properties, right? One of my houses, you rent it from me, right? Well, check this
Mm.
out. I'm not a banking, I'm not a financial institution. So you didn't lend me no credit. I didn't use your social and your name to go tap in and get 1 million for the name and 1 million for the social, right? Nah. So you ain't gonna
Correct.
be able to sue me for breach. The actual contract says you gotta pay me X amount of money on each day of the month. I mean, a certain day on each month. And that's what I expect. That's what I want because I'm a private individual. I don't have the power of monetizing the social with your name, your straw man's name. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm
Right.
saying it's
Well,
a
even the
catch
LLC
22.
isn't a financial institution that feels it, right?
Yeah. So I always tell y'all it got to be a financial institution, not private individual.
Well,
Perfect example. I had two
they put it.
consultations yesterday, right? And it was like, well, Jonah, I did the credit union, and they said they just ignored the shit and all that. And I said, yo, let me teach you something about credit unions, right? I said, yo, when you borrow money from a credit union, them motherfuckers deposit the money into your account. If they don't do that, they actually hand you a check and you cash the check, right? I says, my nigga, they acted like a private individual and actually loaned you money. That's like you borrowing $100 from your boy on the street. You can't give him no instrument. You gotta give him back $100. That's what he gave you. Well, guess what? Even
Yeah,
though
that's what
y'all
they give you a
see,
credit card.
even though y'all see a credit union, right, like it's a bank or a financial institution, nah, they don't operate the same way at all. They actually loan you money. They actually gave you something, right? When you go get a credit card from a credit company, right? That's a real financial institution. They took your actual signature and your social and monetized it, right? And then extended credit
Well,
to
let me ask
you
you something.
and extended credit to you. They never gave you nothing. They gave you access to your own credit. You see what I'm saying? So it's a different scenario when someone actually gives you something. That's called consideration.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. You know what? I'll get to that point because I said something to this lady. Now, so I'm gonna say this: when it comes down to credit union, if that credit union you apply for a credit card, is there still consideration?
Nah, credit cards you can discharge.
Okay, even with a credit union,
Yeah.
even through a credit union. Okay. All right, yeah, I figured that. Okay, but now
That's
what I was saying
mainly
was
what that law
it wasn't about a discharge.
that's mainly what that law I just read was talking about in the beginning. Credit card.
Exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. But back to that too, so it wasn't about a discharge for the lease. The thing is, I was just trying to see if
Well,
I
you
could
know, I'm
consider
not
that a
just
breach of
talking to
contract.
you. I gotta explain it to all the other people.
Oh yeah, I know. right.
Right.
So if somebody write a contract, say you got a car, a rental property, or whatever, and in that, because I know there's a lot of companies that have to go for arbitrational laws, since they keep you as corporate, because
Right.
these folks constantly try to use without a judge. No, I don't
Right.
say that. I don't want. It's some good judgment. It's some good court involved. contract. Because I got one place already. So I just want to see, like, just get some more confirmation on it. And I actually got them to say lines and putting stuff in there that wasn't right. The law that they used didn't even, it didn't even comply to what they were saying at all. They just made up some stuff. But anyway, if someone writes a long-term contract and they say, yo, we can do something, take for instance, matter of fact, this is what it says. It says that we reserve the right to do early termination.
Yes, they have it inside the contracts. Yes.
Without cause.
Yes.
Without cause. But yet your state says just the opposite. It says no, it has to be a cause.
Yes.
So would that be a breach of contract?
It's a conflict. It's a conflict of contract, right? Now, what they're trying to do is get you to waive your rights to have a cause, right?
Exactly.
Now, you can always bring up exceptions to that and say, yo, that was written in legalese. I didn't comprehend you could do that, so I didn't have full disclosure.
Full disclosure.
You can always fight for it.
That's exactly what I've been preaching. Saying, okay, yeah. That's all it is. Joe, the peace to the God.
All right, peace to the God.
All right.
Now, someone asked me an interesting question, a little off key on YouTube. Jonah, can a person get married common law style even though a person legally married? Are you legally married to the same person? Listen, to do a common law marriage, you would have to get rid of the legal marriage and then do your common law marriage, right? Now, are you asking me, since you're legally married, can you marry another person, common law? Of course, right? It's just a contract that you draw up, put it in the newspaper, right? And then when the affidavit comes back from the newspaper, you put it down in the miscellaneous file at your county, right? Then if you're doing a trust, you can add them into the trust to make sure they are beneficiary, and they could have all the same benefits of being legally married. You don't have to get legally married to have your wife entitled to the things that you accumulated in y'all's marriage. Y'all want to do a trust. Get these people out of your business, because a legal marriage is nothing more than a contract between you, your wife, and the state. And the state prays for y'all to have problems so it could take your stuff and give it in the guise of giving it to your ex-wife. It gets paid and takes all your stuff. All right. So with that being said, let me go to the next caller. I'm going to 757-755. Peace to the God. Peace. Seven five seven 755. I can't hear you. I mean, I can hear you, but I don't hear you talking. I'm gonna move on. All right, I'm going to 910-813. Peace to the God. Peace.
Peace to the God. How are you, Jonah?
I'm doing wonderful, magnificent, and great. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. That's good, brother, man. I was calling, man. I have I thought just to chime in on what you were just speaking on, the brother. Now, I thought when, as far as when you apply for a loan, that you still are extending credit also.
Yeah.
So just to what he was.
I'm telling you, saying, all right. Like I said, a credit union is not monetizing your name or your social. Just like a private person that you're renting the property from a apartment or a house or whatever. Yes, he gave you an application where you signed the application with your straw man, your legas, and you put your social on, but he did not monetize it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
He
Okay.
just took the application so he could sue you if you didn't pay him his money, right? He needs your
Gotcha.
signature on it
Right.
to make it a contract. That's what he used it for. That's what the credit union uses it for. That's why the credit union actually gives you consideration, gives you money. So that's what I'm saying. What y'all really
Gotcha.
got to comprehend is not everything is using your straw man's credit. Private people don't. Uh, and I hate to tell you, but credit unions don't. Why do you think credit unions loan you money when no one else will loan you money? They'll loan you money with bad credit. All you have to do is have a relationship with them. You've been there a few years, they'll loan you the money. You see what I'm saying? Credit unions are operating totally different than a financial institution and a bank.
Yeah, they're by the members.
Right. Because a credit
Yeah.
union, if you are down with a credit union, you are one of the members. You are actually supposedly one of the owners.
Right. They operate through the members.
Right.
I got you.
So
I got
it's not a bank. It's not a bank. That's why they don't call it a bank.
Right. Yeah, I got you. But I have two things I wanted to say. I need to give the private ID, man, and also for the.
You're going to hit me up at
IDP.
jonahbay@gmail.com and say private ID, IDP. I'm going to send you the application so you can get your proper IDP, right? Then I'm going to forward.
Right, all right.
I'm going to forward your email to the person who can help you with the private foreign driver's license. And they'll contact you when they have the opportunity to hook you up with that. You see what I'm saying? Now, I had a consultation today with a woman who went and got, IDP and a foreign license from somebody I ain't never heard of. Anyway, that shit didn't work. I'm like, yo, I can tell you if you get in your IDP from PATA, PATA IDP, it's going to work. It's out of Hawaii. I've been using it for over 20 years. But one of the biggest problems she had was she did the injunction, right? And they pulled her over.
Right.
They put her in the back of the cop car with handcuffs and all that, right? She asked for a supervisor. A supervisor came. They let her go because of what? The injunction, right? The problem was why the shit didn't work the way it was supposed to, because she's one of them people that had a private license plate, a private license plate, right? And I says, yo, if you got a private license plate on, you begging to get pulled over by a racist cop and all that. They're not gonna pay attention. I said, yo, they halfway did listen. They did listen to your injunction. They did not lock you up, right? But I says, yo, you can beat that case, but you need to put your car into a trust. And once your car's into the trust, your trustee will go and get you a plate and insurance. Because I don't know about you. I said, my cars is too expensive not to have insurance. Because I don't want to buy a new one. Who the hell want to come up with another 100,000, 200,000 to get a car? And most people that drive, their insurance does not cover a car that costs that much, especially the uninsured people. So I need insurance. And I says, for you, you probably need insurance too, because if you get in an accident and really get hurt, you're going to need that insurance to pay for your hospital.
Yeah, you're going to need to be covered.
Right. I said, yo, you don't want to do it the way you've been doing it. Get it in a trust, get some insurance, and get the plate. Right? And then, so I want people to do that, not have these private license plates. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's the reason why she got pulled over and locked up for a second in the back of the car, but the injunction freed her. And I showed her how she gonna beat that case. And I said, yo, you also got a 241, 242, 1983 lawsuit, because if you look up the treaties on false arrest, that was false arrest when they stopped you without a warrant.
Right.
A warrant and an affidavit in support of the warrant. That's what the Constitution says.
Right. That's what the Constitution says. Yeah.
And they're not allowed to break the Constitution.
On the archives.
Yeah, the Constitution. I don't know if y'all know this, but did y'all know that the Constitutions are express trust? It's express trust. Each and every Constitution. Now, Jonah Bay, I teach y'all how to do express trust. And y'all on par with the same shit they're using. Just for y'all's information. But anything else, my brother?
Yeah, just this last thing is I got a case down in Florida, whereas I put in a motion for discovery, and that's what I was asking for, the warrant that was sworn out, or the affidavit that was sworn out for me to be stopped and searched. And the district attorney failed to give it, but I had went back to the courtroom last week, and the judge, he said he didn't have no information of no motion of discovery, and that he would dismiss it. And we were the only ones in the courtroom, but he didn't dismiss it right then. And I had just made a verbal motion in the court for him to dismiss the case for lack of subject matter jurisdiction, and for discovery not being met. So I said, I'm just, now it got me had me thinking, but I'm just going to submit the motion of discovery. I mean, a motion for dismissal for lack of discovery, and I think that should be over with that.
Yup. Never let it go past discovery, because that's when you're telling them you did wrong by even coming in contact with me. Listen, I don't give a fuck what case it is, right? Discovery. Discovery is in your Bill of Rights when it says that you have the right to face your accuser, have a list of witnesses against you, and the charges to be charged against you. That's called discovery today, right?
Yeah.
Now, also what the Constitution breaks down is they have to have a warrant, and they have to have an affidavit of someone you harmed that did an affidavit swearing to this is why the warrant is there, right? They don't have that. They ain't using that procedure. That's not part of their administrative procedures, statute, codes,
Right.
and rules, regulations. So you use the conflict of laws where it says, y'all, basically you gave me a lack of due process when you arrested me without those things. And this is how I beat so many cases over the years, no matter what it is, because I keep on harping on that. And you basically saying, yo, give me those things that the Constitution says I'm supposed to have if you arrested me. Give me the dash cam. Give me the body cam. Give me the dispatch records. Why? You know they pulled you over. There ain't going to be no dispatch records. But it is going to be a dispatch record of them talking about when they was locking you up, back and forth, right? It's going to incriminate them. All right. Then the dash cam incriminates them because it shows they didn't have no warrant. The body cam shows they didn't have no warrant or anything else. Didn't read you your Miranda rights or anything else. It shows the violations of your rights and lack of due process. So you start asking for all of that. And I've helped people beat drug cases, DUIs, you name it. And all for just discovery. So yeah, you're going to be straight. Stick to the script.
Oh yeah. I heard it when you played it at the beginning. I thought I was listening to an archive video there. I had to make sure I wasn't.
Right.
All right, that's all I have. So I won't hold you up the line up no more. And I got to get a consultation in with you myself. Are you good on those?
I'm good on those.
All right.
All right, then.
I'll
Peace.
get one into you.
All right.
Peace to the God.
Peace of God. All right, I'm going to 407. 6 to the God. Peace.
Peace to the God, Jonah Bay. Peace, man. Oh, yo, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear me.
Mm-hmm.
Peace to the God. What up, Jonah? How you feeling, God?
I'm doing wonderful, magnificent, great. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, magnificent. I just wanted you to say it, God. Wonderful, magnificent, and great, man. I'm doing great. I'm actually typing out this recusal of this judge right here.
Right.
And I'm just listening to what you're saying. And you said the due process, that's what I was writing down, the due process, because...
Yeah, lack of due process. That's what they do.
Yeah, he didn't take judicial notice. He didn't... And my dismissal, my discovery, then produce, like the brother just said. I did a little bit more. I should have did what the brother did, but that's here or there. But he didn't give me the warrant that I asked for. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was doing this.
They're not gonna give you one because they don't have it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How they gonna give you something they don't have?
True. You summed it up when you just spoke right there. You just summed it up for everybody.
Right. See, what you got to remember is you got to ask for it anyway. Why? Because sometimes you're going to have to do an appeal. Remember, you are in fake courts, right? Fake administrative courts. So when you do the appeal, you can't put in no new evidence. So you had to make sure it was put in from the old, the first case, right? So then when they look at it and see none of that stuff he asked for, all that stuff, and never got it, you win on appeal. You see what I'm saying? Because they're playing checkers, but we're playing chess.
Yeah. Because you got the trust indenture.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, you got the trust indenture. I want to ask a question. It's pertaining to the same subject, but I was in a car accident, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the license.
Can you drive? Nah, nigga, you can't drive. You getting into accidents. That was the question, right? My bad.
I got in a car accident, right? And they got me locked up. It wasn't my fault. A person ran the light, hit me. And I actually got locked up because the license was revoked or suspended years ago, right? Now, my question was, would I still use discovery in that same situation, even if
absolutely.
The information was
listen, they ain't allowed to lock you up without a warrant and without an affidavit. Yep. And you want the body cam, you want the dash cam, and you want the transcripts of this dispatch when you was locked up, all for the same reasons. I just broke that down.
Oh, you did? You surely did.
Yeah.
You surely did.
I said I use it for every case. So I don't see why your case is different.
I was just, I figured it's the same thing. Would I use it? I have a court day in a month and a half. Would I put that in discovery prior to that first appearance?
Of course. Have you been arraigned yet? That means have you pleaded guilty or not guilty? Nah, you ain't putting nothing in yet.
Yeah. Okay, just go to the first arraignment first, then we can start from there. You figured that. I figured that.
Yeah.
I figured that. Yeah. That was pretty much it, Jonah. I appreciate you, man, 100%, man. I just thank you for, giving us this game and opening our eyes to the law, because that's where we getting fucked up at out
Absolutely.
here. Is the law. People talk all shit all they want, but everything is pertaining to the law is how we getting fucked up.
Listen, they even told us that. If you pay attention, they got the saying, not knowing the law, there's no excuse for not knowing the law, right?
Ignorance of the law.
Ignorance of the law is no excuse, right? So what they're telling you, you got to contemplate what that means. What that means is everyone is supposed to know the law. And if you don't, it will be held against you. So the most important thing to learn is law. Now look at how many people never learn the law.
Mm-hmm. That's a big.
But they gave you the
Everybody-
warning to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. You're on point. That's absolute fact.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't give a fuck. Everyone is supposed to learn law, whether you taking a class in their school, which is useless, but you should be on these bills of people teaching law and learning the laws because everyone is supposed to know it. You're supposed to have a Bible and a law. Now, you got the Bible not for religious reasons. You have the Bible because a lot of the laws came from the Bible. You need to know those too. See, but people nowadays say you pick up a Bible, you only pick up a Bible to be religious, to be a Christian. No.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Not a law is in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, I'm going to try to get one more caller. Peace.
Peace, Jonah. Peace.
All right, I'm going to 404-519. Peace to the God. Peace. 44519. 44519. Guess they're not there. All right. 843-800. Peace to the God. Peace.
Peace to the God.
What up, God?
Shit. Just up here doing some studying, man, and got some remedy, of course.
Dope.
And want to ask you, what you think about the writ of quo warranto?
Quo warranto is very quo warranto is very powerful. Like, for instance, just talking about similar shit that you're interested in, right? So let's say if they try to do a foreclosure, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would do quo warranto, asking them, by what authority do you have the right to foreclose? Because foreclosures have to be done in Superior Court in Georgia.
Superior Court.
Right?
Yeah.
So they didn't do it in Superior Court. So by what authority can you do that?
And then the cool thing is they can be ousted from that office.
Feel me?
Like they can be ousted. So they normally, when I see these quo warrantos, I see a lot of cases being dismissed before it even get to court. It's almost like the quo warranto is a discovery before in itself.
Exactly. See, so when you say quo warranto, to me, I'm stating that I know you didn't do it according to the Constitution. So, what authority gave you the right to go over the Constitution? Because the Constitution says anything that goes against the Constitution is void.
It's void.
And the judiciary so declare it. So they need to tell me by what rules do they have that they could do that. You feel me?
So would you just administrate them out individually with the quo warranto?
I would put it in the court as well.
And then once you get to court, you say, I did the administrative process. They never showed what the authority was, so I motion to dismiss.
Yep.
Before you even start an argument.
Yep. Now, for the record, when y'all do discovery,
60 seconds.
Y'all do not add anything. Just do discovery. Don't put in no other paperwork or you're waiving your discovery.
Right.
With that being said, peace out, y'all. Thank you for tuning into the show today. I'm out.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Hope y'all enjoyed the show, YouTube. I'm out. I'm about to go eat. I'm hungry as you know. Peace.